Ever wonder how architects know exactly how much to tilt a building to catch the most sun? It's all about trigonometry. Hi, I'm Formula Focus, the founder of this STEM competition Axiom Challenge. This is day 15 of Geometry Galore, where I make boring geometry formulas fun. Today, we're going to be going over a trigonometry lesson together. So imagine we have a right triangle with the hypotenuse as shown. Now let's look specifically at this angle. The leg closer to the angle would be adjacent to the angle, and the leg further away would be opposite. So our first trigonometry function is called sine, which would be abbreviated to sin, or sin. And it's basically a fancy way of saying the opposite side of the triangle divided by the hypotenuse. Then there is cosine, which can be abbreviated to cos or cos, which is the adjacent side divided by the hypotenuse. Then there is tangent, abbreviated to tan, which I would like to think as the kind of baby of sine and cosine, since it's the opposite divided by the adjacent side, aka sine divided by cosine actually. These are the most common types of trigonometry functions, so I recommend memorizing these before going on to the other ones. Like cosecant, which is abbreviated to CSC, and it's the hypotenuse divided by the opposite side, which is also 1 over sine A. Then there's secant, abbreviated to SEC, and it's the hypotenuse divided by the adjacent, aka 1 over cosine. I find it kind of ironic that cosecant is 1 over sine A when it starts with C, and secant is 1 over cosine A when it starts with S. Anyway, so next we have cotangent, which is COT, and it's the adjacent divided by the opposite, aka 1 over tan A, which is really easy to remember. Anyway, side note, a really easy way to remember sine, cosine, and tangent is through the abbreviation SOHCAHTOA, where SO is for sine, CA is for cosine, and TOA is for tangent. Anyway, it's quiz time! If we have a 30, 60, 90 triangle, what is sine 30 degrees? Since the ratio of a 30, 60, 90 triangle is 1 square root 3, 2, and sine is the opposite side divided by the hypotenuse, our answer would be half. Now, if we have a 45, 45, 90 triangle, what about cosine 45 degrees? The ratio of a 45, 45, 90 triangle is square root 2, square root 2, 2, and since cosine is adjacent divided by hypotenuse, our answer would be square root 2 divided by 2. Now notice how both of these examples relied on ratios from triangles that we already know. But what about funky angles like 15 degrees, for example? Well, that's what we'll go over in the next video.